What's going on? This is My Life in the Shot. I'm your host, Donald Washington. So much do we talk about the bad that's going on in Chicago, and that's what everybody is seeing is the bad that's going on in Chicago. However, there is some good, and there's people that's doing some good, that's doing good. I want to bring you guys my own boy Eric from New Era, Chicago. Before I bring you on, bro, I want to show some clips from you in the Chicago Way documentary. This is it here.
To be about this change. How many children have to die before we come out these houses and decide we gonna change this shit? The well-being of the black community cannot start with the police. It has to start with the people. Power, the ability to respond, the ability to protect and provide for us, the ability to deliver a consequence. That's the only thing the black community needs to be concerned with. We got to save ourselves. Stop looking for somebody else to come help you. The mayor cannot save you. Your alderman can't save you. Your black president who's on his way out cannot save you. You got to get it in your mind that you're going to come save yourself.
Bro, what you said was powerful. You got to get it in your mind that you're going to come save yourself. The mayor cannot save you. Your alderman can't save you. Your president can't save you. You got to get it in your mind that you're going to come save yourself. What's going on, brother? Eric from New Era, Chicago. What is New Era Chicago doing in the city of Chicago that's unique and different from everybody else that's doing what they're doing in Chicago?
Well, I think, for one, the thing that sets us apart from a lot of other organizations is, man, we don't believe in any type of begging or pleading or petitioning or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? We believe in operating from a position of power, what we're capable of doing for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so we have a few programs that we have a few programs that we run, within our capacity that we do every week. Our food program, we called our Rakia's Ride, and we do that in honor of the sister Rakia Boyd, who was murdered in, I believe, 2012 by an off-duty police officer. We do the clothing drives. We do Hood to Hood, which is basically what we would call a Black Power parade, where we go out, we clean up the neighborhood, we clean up trash on Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons. We give away food, we knock on doors, and we go and try to propagate it and spread these ideas of Black love and Black unity, and we demonstrate that. And the other program is mainly our Streets is Watching program, community patrol program. You know what I'm saying? There have been within the span of about 3 weeks, I believe there have been 7 children shot and killed in Chicago. And everybody's doing a bunch of whining and complaining about, well, we need resources, we need we need that, and we need this. We got everything we need. You know what I'm saying? We have everything we need. What we need to do, though, is put our boots on the ground. First of all, we have to just simply be committed. We have to be committed to our people and to our communities. And then I truly believe that the solutions will come. But I think a lot of us, we kind of get it twisted. We are not truly committed to ourselves and to our community because, if you were, you would know better than to be begging and pleading for your enemy for relief. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, bro. I want to play a clip of the brother at, where was this at? What is this clip here? Where were you guys at?
This shit that's going on in our communities is an indictment against us.
Come on.
This is an indictment against our collective Black manhood.
Say that.
Come on.
Black men and women, Black women and children shouldn't feel for nothing when Black men is around.
35th. I think that was back in like 2016, 2017. It was an event for what's the young brother that got killed by the police? 16 shots. I forget his name now. Laquan McDonald. And people had come up. Someone had invited us to speak, to participate, and I just got up there. I was really frustrated with what I was hearing because, again, all I heard was a bunch of, please take it easy on me. My life matters. Please love me. Please hold my hand. You know what I'm saying? I personally, I'm not with none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know my life matters. And that's why I do the work that I do in my community, bro.
Yep.
I think our community as a whole, black people as a whole, we have a misunderstanding of really what's going on here. You know, we try to approach these issues that we have in our community, and we refuse to even acknowledge, or we can't even see a very critical and a very important part of this situation that we're in. We can't even acknowledge it, and that is that first and foremost, we are at war. You know what I'm saying? We are at war. We got to stop looking at, our situation and the dysfunction that's going on in our communities from the perspective of, like, we are just the victims of one long continuous stroke of bad luck, or we're just the victim of some unfortunate circumstances. No, these things that are happening in our communities, all all black dysfunction, all across the board, these things are happening because they've been made to happen. You know what I'm saying? And so when I hear us calling on our enemies for relief, I truly believe that we don't truly understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
All right, bro. I want to play this clip right here.
Too often we find that's the case.
Come on.
We got our enemies that come in our neighborhoods and they murder us with impunity. They walk off. And we stand and we walk off and we cry for justice and we whine and complain. I never said please in a fight. I either won or I lost. I never said please in a fight. I either won or I lost. If the black community ain't gonna put itself in position to be able to deal with these issues, my position is we deserve it.
Come on,
you deserve only as much shit as you willing to put up with.
Talk truth, King.
Only as much shit as you willing to put up with. And I ain't encouraging recklessness or stupidity, but we got to organize to be able to effectively deal with our enemies.
Real shit.
All that whining about how we being mistreated and who owes us and all, I ain't with none of that. I'm about organizing black people and black community to be able to effectively police themselves, to educate their own children, to provide jobs for themselves, to be able to deliver a consequence for their enemies. That's all I'm about. We usually don't even participate in this type of stuff, and it's not to diminish it at all. We just ain't an organization that do no protesting. We believe in operating from a position of power. That's it. Power. There can be no power if we whining and wanting to be accepted by everybody.
Come on.
You can't have that. You can't have it both ways. We've been shucking and jiving for 300 or 400 years. We do this every year. Somebody get murdered, we come out here, we hold a couple vigils, we whine and complain, and they go back. They ain't even worried about us. They ain't even worried about us. Because we only come out when this type of thing goes on. What we need to be doing is taking all our pain, all our hurt, all our frustration, take it back to your communities and start building. Take it back to your...
Brother, that was a key statement. Take it back to your community and build. Operate at a position of power. Money equals power. Now, one thing that New Era Chicago does that I love is you guys take all your members, you guys will meet up somewhere and patronize a business from our community. Therefore, you can build jobs for the young brothers in our communities. Group economics. We spend 98% of our money outside our community. We spend $1.3 trillion a year. But we spend 98% of that money outside of our community. And we let everybody come in our community, set up shop, get rich, and go back to their community. They ain't even obligated to hire from our community. They don't even shop or live in our community. They don't even pay taxes. Bro, there was a COVID-19 thing where the businesses in my neighborhood community was giving back to the community. Guess how much some of those foreign-owned businesses gave? Not a single cent. And we fighting to give them our money. Please take our money. Even after they know this business ain't did nothing for your community. So, what are some of the things New Era Chicago is doing as far as with group economics? That's something I love about you guys are doing. You guys are putting back and putting jobs into the community.
Well, with respect to that You know, the main thing that we can do as an organization is practice retreat. So oftentimes after a demonstration or whatever event that we're doing, we'll go. However many of us that there are, we'll go out to a particular black-owned business and we'll infuse them with, cash or as much cash as we have. It's just a simple thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, try my best to walk what I talk. I believe in being self-sufficient and self-sustaining and self-governing and whatnot. I believe in helping my brothers and sisters out. So here's a black-owned business. They provide a service. Okay, let's all get together at this specific time and go, spend our money with them. To me, it's not simple. I mean, to me, it's not very complex. It's very simple. Um, and to a certain degree, the issues that we face are not very complex, and then on a certain hand that they are. But I really believe, man, with the correct orientation of our minds first and foremost, man, we can address all of the problems that we face. Like, how can we be begging and complaining about jobs, like you said, when we spend, I believe you said 1.3. I thought the number was higher than that. I thought it was like 2.1 now, $2.1 trillion right now.
Oh, could
You know what I'm
be.
saying? Hold on. Let me. How do I?
I'm gonna have to call him back, but I will address. Somebody said, Rodney Brown said, what about the black enemies who shoot us down, sell dope and steal? This is what New Era Chicago is doing. They are marching through the streets of Chicago, of our community, and they have their own Streets is Watching program. Hold on. What they're doing is they're patrolling our community. Okay, bro. Okay, I'm going to bring you back on. And I'm going to address that. Okay, go ahead, bro.
I apologize, bro. I'm sitting here. I was trying to kind of call that I was getting, and I hung up on you by accident.
Okay, so somebody in my message, I want you to address this. I want you to address this. And I just addressed it, but I want you to address it. Somebody said, what about the black enemies who shoot us down, sell dope and steal? I want you to address that, because I'm about to address it. I want you to also...
Okay. So, first and foremost, we have to understand that this is the part where I was saying, our situation is somewhat simple, but then it's complex. It's not as simple as, us getting on TV telling them to turn themselves in to the police or calling the police. You know what I'm saying? We black men in particular are going to have to establish themselves as the authority in their communities. Period. I spoke earlier about, the dysfunction and the violence, whether it's black on black crime or whatever issues that we're dealing with in our community. We first and foremost have to understand that these are not a bunch of random coincidences. It's not like we've just been the unfortunate victims of one stroke of bad luck. Our communities have been engineered to produce this result and this type of violence. So when I particular hear black people talking about, hey, we need more police in the black community, I automatically think back to, and you have to ask yourself, bear with me here. Why is it that you think Marcus Garvey encountered so much opposition? Why do you think they killed Malcolm and Martin? Why do you think they assassinated Chairman Fred Hampton Sr.? Why do you think that they brought about COINTELPRO and shipped in drugs to our communities and shipped out jobs and sought to dismantle and undermine and destroy anything that was meant to be good for us? Black power and black dysfunction cannot exist in the same space. You either gonna have one or the other. And if our enemies got anything to say about it, we always gonna be a wayward, dysfunctional, backwards people. And this is what you're seeing now. You know what I'm saying? This is the desired result. Why do you think they did all of this that they've done to produce this result? where children are murdered in the street, and the men twiddle their thumbs and their fingers like there's nothing that can be done about it, and we're forced to resort to calling on our enemies for help. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at this in a broad scope, not just, oh, somebody killed somebody and we need to go call the police. They need to be turned into the police. Listen, I am definitely all for I am for justice, no doubt. I am for fixing and solving our problems, the issue of violence in our communities, no doubt. But I think we need to be careful about how we approach this. Listen, the black community is fucked up now. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have to watch my language?
You can cuss, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
what it is.
The black community is definitely fucked up right now, but we need to be careful about cheering for and aligning ourselves with our enemies. You know what I'm saying? The issues that are going on in our community, it ain't nothing that we can't solve.
Bro,
This is nothing. I'm talking about the violence. This is not an issue that we cannot fix. We just have to decide that we gonna get out here and do something about it. Something that we do, like I said, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do a community patrol. We're usually in Inglewood or in Chatham. You know what I'm saying? And this is not, I've said before, this is not about us being the biggest, baddest, toughest dudes out here. But like I said, when it comes to the protection of black women and children, men stand up. That's all it is. You stand up. It ain't about being the biggest, baddest, toughest, smartest, whatever, most street dude out here. But when it comes to the protection of black women and children, men stand up. And we have to understand that there are only three positions that you can hold in this situation that we're dealing with. You either a man, you a traitor, or you a coward. You're going to have to pick one. But this sideline shit where people is talking about, well, it ain't none of my business, that ain't got nothing to do with me, that's not going to cut it no more. That that can't fly. We cannot allow that. You know what I'm saying? I hope I answered that question. I don't want to go into too much. Listen, there's going to have to be some drastic things taking place in order to address this. And I'm talking about specifically, the violence in our community. And I don't want to seem like, we can create some, I believe is the word panacea, some, heavenly existence for us. But at the same time, listen, when 7 or 8 children are killed in the span of 2 weeks in the city of Chicago, and you see a lack of outrage from, well, I do see outrage. What I don't see is action, or meaningful action, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I believe in being self-sufficient and self-sustaining. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in relying on my enemies. So I take my time, you know what I'm saying, and I go out and I am a part of a community patrol with some other brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you'll never hear me complaining to my enemies to fix my problems. Never.
All right, so look at this.
Never.
I want to point out to everybody else, man. I'm a videographer, and when I was following New Era Chicago, let me tell you something. It was a full gang war on the east side, and I went to the east side first to film over there. 7 people killed in the span of 24 hours.
Oh, I remember that. That was a few years ago, a couple years ago.
Not one extra patrol car. I look on Facebook. That's when there was that big fight with the police. 50 cars are patrolling New Era Chicago, and every time I followed you guys, y'all had at least assigned detectives, paddy wagons, cars, and there's wars out there on the street. They were more concerned that you guys would keep the peace because it's money and dysfunction. New Era Chicago was patrolling their own community, knocking on doors, bringing peace, and the police were outraged. Y'all got a special assignment just like the Black Panthers do. Y'all got a special detectives on y'all. Y'all got FBI, CIA on y'all as we speak. As we speak, y'all phones are tapped. Just so y'all don't bring peace to your own community. Is it a conspiracy theory? Hell yeah it is. I watched a gang war. There's 50 cars assigned to y'all trying to keep the peace versus war on the east side. Now, one extra patrol car. Cats was looking at me like, who the hell is you? And I'm like, damn. Ain't no protection out there. But they had 50 cars for y'all to knock on doors, clean up Inglewood. 50 cop cars assigned just to y'all. Come on, man. That's telling a whole lot. That's telling a lot.
That's true, brother. You know what I'm saying? And what you said about the CIA, FBI, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Truly, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, when you think about our history in this country, anything that has been good for black people has automatically been targeted. You know, because see, when you look at our situation, like all of the dysfunction, from the violence, from broken homes to the lack of economic opportunity, all of this is it's about the creation and the maintaining of an underclass of people. You know what I'm saying? These elements that exist in our community help to maintain an underclass of people. And like I said, if our enemies have anything to say about it, we will always remain without. We will always remain lacking and whatnot. So that's why I say, you know, it's frustrating and disheartening to hear my people squealing basically and crying for their enemies to come help them. You know what I'm saying? When we got we got a clear and open enemy that has done everything possible to destroy us. And we are so broken that instead of putting in the time and work to fix our own problems and our own situation, we call on them. You know, I don't know, man. The situation is, the situation is critical. The situation that we're dealing with, not just in Chicago, but, you know, just black communities, period. It is critical, man. We definitely going to have to take a different approach. And that approach has got to be one of self-reliance, self-determination, just you know, a get up, a fuck it, I'll do it myself attitude, as opposed to begging, pleading, you know, with our enemies, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, the situations that we deal with in our communities or our enemies. And one more thing I want to say that we have to understand. Listen, with respect to violence in the black community, you know, we definitely cannot tolerate children being murdered. You know, I believe the youngest was like 7 or 8 months old. You remember that?
You know
I think the little somebody that got shot over there on 60th and Halsted, they were like a year or 7 or 8 months or something like that.
Yeah, and you know something, man, and something about y'all. Yeah, it's about 7 months. But what I love about y'all messages, that is the answer. Economic, to patronize the businesses in your community. Therefore, you give jobs to the children in your community. But then people try to counter me as like, we don't have nothing in our community. Even if we have one business, there was a business owner. He said, man, I want to open up 10 of these. But he said not even 1% of this community support me. If 50% of your community patronize this one business every day for 2 weeks, that business can afford to open up 10 more in 2 weeks. Literally.
Bro, we got the means, we just don't have the mind. We got the means, we just don't have the mind. Everybody else comes in the community and makes a living off the money that we supposedly don't have. You know what I'm saying? The East Indians come and they make a living off of us, and they send their children to school. The Arabs, the Indians, the Europeans. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, what we don't have is a proper orientation of our mind. Listen, once we get our mind correctly oriented, once we have a true commitment and dedication to ourselves, the solutions to our problems are going to come to us. Lacking now is a true commitment. We don't have a real commitment. We got a lot of people that's talking a lot of bullshit, and you know they have these what I call social and political hot flashes where they upset for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and then they disappear. But I'm talking about consistent work, consistent commitment to your people, to your community, consistent boots on the ground. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right, bro.
Needed.
I want to address this. Now, one of our biggest excuses on why we spend 98% of our money outside our community, taking jobs from our community is, oh, our businesses charge too much. Let us analyze this. See, we dealing with the middleman and the middleman, and a lot of times I asked the business, I said, Joe, how come y'all charging more? I could just go to Save a Lot right there and get this for $2 less. They said, hey, look, there's a stocking fee. So by us buying less, that same producer, they deliver to the same store. But they charge them more because they added, see you buy less, we got to charge you more. There's a stocking fee. So we
There,
got to be patient. We
go
got to
ahead.
be patient. It's a matter of life and death. There's going to be another 700 people, children killed in our communities this year, next year. Our children. So a lot of people, if you really outrage, matter of fact, you're going to pay for it. Even if you pay an extra $2, your property value goes down when somebody gets shot in your community. So when somebody gets shot in your community, you're paying an extra $50,000 that you lost property value. So by not giving your children jobs, your property value, your insurance goes up. You're going to pay more at the end. So spend that extra dollar or two in your community so that the children in your community have jobs and nobody has to get shot. And and more business can open up that charge less. We got to get out that mindset. Oh, I don't want to pay an extra dollar, so I'm going to drive 30 minutes to Orland Park, spend my money so I can save an extra $2. Come on, people, we
Bro,
backwards,
even
man.
that, listen, that is a symptom. That's an example of an improper orientation of the mind, because when your mind is oriented correctly, like I said, when you're truly dedicated to your people, when you're truly dedicated and commitment to your community, you understand the principle of sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. It's about sacrifice. Black communities, black business owners, they have more obstacles to face, more economic obstacles, more political, social, whatever, everything obstacles than other business owners. So oftentimes, like you said, because they buy less, they're charged more. You know what I'm saying? In order to survive, they have to pass that cost on along to the customer. But me personally, and I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. You know what I'm saying? There are black businesses that I patronize, and I patronize them simply because they're black. There are some that I patronize begrudgingly, because not all of us are doing exactly what we're supposed to do. But I give myself that black love.